Again, I'll be periodically spamming tents and stuff along the way. Once you get a somewhat good feel for the encounter rate of the seed that you're playing, you can kind of guess it where to use tents, and when you're almost due for an encounter, use a tent, avoid the encounter, save time. Okay, I'm going to do an item check here. We've got enough pures, we've got enough heals. I need more houses. Usually you want at least 90 or more heals going into the volcano, or heading toward the crescent area. Because from crescent you're going to be going to one of three places. You're going to be going, one of four places. You're going to be going to either Earth, which is the least favorable gamble. You're going to be going to Volcano, which is possibly the most favorable gamble. You can see the shags there had fire too, so I'm definitely going to want to spam tents so I avoid those. They can kill us quickly. You're going to be going to Ice Cave, which is about the same gamble as Volcano. Granted, Ice Cave is not required, but Ice Cave usually has very good items, and you can gain a lot of levels there very quickly. And again, we got spammed by the sea hags. Creep ambush. And then, the last place you're going to be going from Crescent is Ordeals, which is a low percentage play, but you never know. I mean, it can quickly become a high percentage play if there's something required there. We've checked those chests already. We don't have the adamant. We need to get down here to the elf and open up the canal. Now, if you had exit or warp at this point, you would use that to get out of here quickly instead of having to walk out. If you find exit or warp early and they're usable, you kind of have to remind yourself how much steps you can save by using them. Use them as frequently as you can. One place you don't want to use them, however, is, say, you just completed Ordeals and you want to warp out from the top floor. Don't do that, because it's going to take you back to... Warp is actually going to take you to the previous floor. Exit will work, excuse me. And we get spammed again. We don't have a life spell, I think. Yeah, we don't have barely any white spells yet. Oh my god, did I not use a cabin? Yeah, I didn't. Okay, so first mistake of the run right there. I reset without using the cabin. That cost me about 2 or 3 minutes easy. That's something you don't want to do. Ah! So yes, there's a perfect example of what you don't want to do. Stupid sea hags. See, that's really all it takes. Like, now in a race, that could have been the race right there. Spam a ton of tents because of those sea hags, which have fire too. The game gets really frustrating at times when those large enemy groups have spells like that, simply because initiatives almost always favor the enemy groups, as you can see right there. Looks like Fire 2 is on top of their script too, so they're going to use that every time right away. Alright, so we are here at Millman now. Melman is pretty straightforward. There is no item or clinic here. And given the location of Melman and all the other shops at this time, and you don't have the airship, you really want to make sure that you stock up on items that you might need before heading toward Crescent Island. Because you can return to Melman without losing too much time, but you can't buy any items here and you can't use the clinic here. So once you do find the slab, however, you want to return here and you want to go to the northwest there for number 6. Once you have the slab, talk to this guy, and then you can go to Leafin and be able to get the chime. Oftentimes, it's easy to forget that, so it's important to remember, once you have the slab, return to Melmond and translate it. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we have life at level 1. I'm going to take that since she can't learn life 2 yet. Okay, harm 3, that's probably going to be a good spell. That's useful against undead. I'll pass on cure for now because we already have 2 level 1 spells here. Level 1 could also be fade. I want to make sure I don't miss that. There's nuke at level 8. That's about the worst news you could get there. Temper's at level 2. That's good. But level 8 nuke, that sucks. There's our silver sword at an amazing price. Holy crap. I don't think I've ever seen a silver sword that cheap before. That's amazing. Okay, so now we can sell the great axe. The silver sword is better than the great axe. Not much gold there, but some. And we have silver bracelets here, but they're extremely expensive. I'm going to have to pass on them for now. So, silver sword was the only useful thing we found here. There's no need to grind. I'm going to burn a tent. And we're back to our map. So now we are sailing from number 9 around the island here where Earth Cave is to number 13 to obtain the canoe, which is going to give us the most options at this time. Again, we're on some dangerous seas here, so I want to make sure that I'm tenting the whole way. We could get ambushed by a pack of those sea hags, and that's game over. There they are. Just going to reset that one. Well, once you've learned the game and you know what to do, where to go, and you have a good idea of how things develop, I would say the average time is between 1.5, which is a really good time, to 2.5, which is a, decent time. Hours. But there's always that seed where you can end up going 4 hours. Possibly even longer. It's definitely one of the more hardcore randomizers in regards to time. I should probably take this. We need some extra gold right now. We have the wizard staff. I could use Bane to try to kill all of them, but chances are it'll miss a few of them. And since they're confused, I want them to attack each other anyway, so I will use Bane here. Excuse me, not Bane, Fire 3. Okay, Cobras have low hit points, that's good. Should get a decent amount of experience in gold here. Okay, first priority here. Now that we are at Crescent Island. Alright, so first thing I'm going to check here is the items. I want to top off heals. Maybe buy a soft, just in case we get stoned in the volcano or the ice cave or wherever I decide on going. And they don't have any here, so okay, I'll buy another house. Heals are good, okay, so we're good there. What do you have here? That's a good buy. Silver helmet's expensive. Steel armor, that's actually not a bad price for steel armor. But we don't have the gold to spare right now. There's exit. She can't learn exit. Oh, that's terrible. I left permissions on, that's why. So see, this is what happens when you leave permissions on. You can come across a good spell that you can't get until after class change. So the tail is going to be important now. Oh, I've got to reset my time. So now I have to wait for about 35 seconds to let the time catch up. Keeping it legit. Now exit would have been extremely useful considering where I'm going next. So you come around and you talk to this guy here, he's got the canoe. It's always the sage at 5 o'clock that has the canoe. You have no need to talk to any of the other ones. Unless you're interested in plot, which speedrunners almost exclusively are not. Okay, now it's decision time. What am I going to do? You know, given the spells that I have, I think my best play right now is Ice Cave. I can come out of there at a higher level. Hopefully I'll have found something good. And we're getting trolled here literally. Wow, okay. So Troll has Cremate, Bull has Glance. Both of those are not good. So yeah, I'm going to play the Ice Cave here. Go back to our map. Bring it up a bit so I'm clear here. I want to be very clear on this tutorial. Okay, so from 13, which is Crescent, we go back to our port there on the right, and then we're just going to go up to that delta. And from there we're going to take the canoe through that winding path to number 15, which is the Ice Cave. It's kind of a long winding path, and sometimes the river enemies can be a real pain. So again, you're going to want to make sure that you have tents to spare. They will save you time. I will leave that up for now until I get there. So again, anybody has any questions, whatever, please feel free to ask. This is the place to ask. Now you can continue to hold the dash button while on the canoe, and the canoe will go faster. Also, if you hold the dash button while in the airship, it will go a little bit slower. It kind of helps you with precise landings and all that. There's lots of quirky little time savers that add up over this game. We have no interest in fighting you guys. So again, Ice Cave is not required. I think I do have incentives on though, so it may be required for this particular run. But we cannot